stations, 4 bays. We anticipate probably moving some brush resources into there. So water tankers, water tenders, brush trucks. That's kind of our urban interface area out there. So once this building is in design, we'll talk to operations chief back there, Deputy Chief Rivera and his team, see what we think is best to move the resources and deploy them to the proper stations.
And once the station's built, it'll be ready to go to have units respond. It's not going to be the station's built and now we're playing catch up with the resources and manpower.
That's
right.
right.
It's going to be ready to go.
As a matter of fact, we're going to start hiring for that fire station here this summer.
Okay.
That's our goal. Is we go in phases. We try to hire in smaller groups. So it's the 3-year buildup to open in the door. That's exactly what we did for the fire station in Councilman Duffy's area, and it worked really well. It's a partnership again with finance and budget. And we hope to continue to do that.
And Chief, when you say you're hiring, what's the benefits of starting to hire now, even though the station's not built?
Yeah, again, great question. So it probably takes Chief Worrell back there. I got all the chiefs here tonight. Chief Worrell manages most of our recruitments for us, and he would tell you, we typically start every year applications in August, maybe May, intent to recruit. We don't have a hiring list on the chief's desk until November, December timeframe, and then we're hurrying to try to get people into a January, February academy. So what we're trying to do is get it in front of all of that. Mm-hmm. So we start the hiring process a little early, bring folks on board. Sometimes they don't make it through the academy.
What's up, John?
Sometimes things happen in their background. Whatever it is, we're relieving that
pressure. So in case you guys don't know, we got West Side Accountability
and getting these folks on board. The other thing we're doing is training them. It takes us about a year once they get out of the academy.
Whole bunch of people over at this meeting right now.
9 to 10 months on the road. Giving them the time. We're trying to make sure we have seasoned folks that are going to be operating out of these buildings when we turn the lights on there. And the last thing I'll tell you what it does, relieves a little bit of retirement pressure at the end. Right now, we're starting to see retirement set in to our department. Not something we've been used to, but it's happening now. And so you can see if you hire 20 people at once, they're all going to be eligible to leave 20, 25 years later. That's a really hard cycle to break later on. So we're trying to space that out and kind of relieve some pressure, if you will, to not only the fire department, but the budget department, human resources, everybody that's involved with that.
And then, sorry, I have one more question. So obviously getting them through the academy and then also their probationary time, training them, we're alleviating that pressure of trying to rush them out in the field. But then we also mentioned that we'll have paramedics on these trucks. How long does paramedic school take and what does that look like?
So that's another great question. It's about a 1-year commitment from the time that we put an intent out in the organization to see who's interested. They have to go through a minor skills assessment to make sure that they can function as a basic EMT before we send them to paramedic school. Once we send them 8 to 10 months, depending on the program. I will have you know though that is resilience from a resiliency standpoint. We know that we have to train a lot of paramedics. I know you know this, but a lot of the other departments in town are all looking at, hey, we don't have enough medics or we don't have the capacity to train the need that we have. So surprise Chief Suburbi, he's not here tonight, but if he was, he would be able to tell you this in the back. But for 1.5 years, he's been working on developing our own medic program here so that Surprise Fire can train its own paramedics, because it is tough to rely on the community colleges or the city of Phoenix, for example. Their schedules change. Sometimes it doesn't line up with us. So in order for us to build our own resource and take care of our community here, we're working really hard to get that done. I thought it would be easier to do, and it's a little more challenging, but we're working through it.
Thank you, Chief. I appreciate the proactiveness. I get this question quite a bit from residents of they see all the growth around them and they're concerned, if I call 911, am I going to get someone to respond in a timely fashion, but who am I getting? And I think a lot of folks don't understand all that goes into fully staffing a fire truck. I can tell you, my family didn't even realize that in the valley here, each fire truck has 2 EMTs and 2 paramedics. So if your heart stops, you're going to get a fire truck with folks that are able to do those interventions to hopefully save your life. And so I really appreciate the proactive planning, not only with the station, but also making sure that the station's only as good as the people in it. And so making sure we're having some highly trained individuals that are ready to respond to those neighborhoods when that station's up and running. So I'm really excited about this. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Vice Mayor Hastings.
Thank you, Mayor.
Well, it seems like Councilman Haney is pretty up to speed with this type of information. I don't know how, maybe he could, yeah, I mean, yeah, he watches a lot of good TV shows. Yeah, I just want to reiterate one point is when we were going on for the bond presentations, one of my residents, or the residents that I represent, asked me like, well, why should I vote for this? This is all like no surprise. And we have these situations, too, when schools go out and, I mean, the growth right now is happening in Northwest Surprise. And I just told him, look, like it's nice. Like I get it. Like we have a fire station right across from Valley Vista on Greenway and Parkview, but you want that fire truck to stay nearby because with the automatic aid system, it's a great system, but there's nothing to stop, fire a truck from 302 going up to North Surprise, and then someone's in Sun City Grand who, fell and couldn't get up. And now I'm not saying like, but obviously.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So here's the view from the back of the room. This is West Side Accountability's view. Again, we got West Side Accountability, Joe Cool.
Tracking inside the area, how many calls per day would go to that truck?
Tempe against police violence.
Research that and provide that to you, but also be able to show you a little bit of like, what response times are to the high school out there. We're right down the street from it. So same thing up north too, and also
James Freeman.
Reliability data for the station in your own neighborhoods right now.
Michelle's Mobile Media. Just a guy having fun. King George Wallen is there. A lot of people covering this meeting.
Provide that to you, but also be able to show you a little bit of like, what response times are to the high school out there. We're right down the street from them. So same thing up north too. Sure. And also maybe give you some reliability data for the stations in your own neighborhoods right now. So
absolutely. And that just all goes back to the residents. They're the ones who voted to approve this. They're the ones, putting on the property taxes and investing in Surprise. And so we just want to show them that
Tucson money's well worth it. Is out there
we
as
know
well.
what you know what you're doing. We want to show everybody that that we got it all buttoned up. We got it all figured out. You guys are awesome. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yep.
Awesome. Chief, this is strategic. It's long-term. It's going in the places that we're growing north and west. This is huge. So thank you for your leadership on this and your entire team, the entire city of Surprise. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I can do it. I move to approve the addendum to the purchase contract for 27 acres of property located near 185th Avenue and Deer Valley Road.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please cast your vote. It was Councilman Judd that did the second.
That's a unanimous yes vote, Mayor.
Okay. I will now conduct a call to the public. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to address the council on non-agenda items?
Yes, Mayor, I have 6 requests to speak. As I call you up, please remember to state your name and the city that you live in when you get to the podium. First, I have James Ellis.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is James Ellis. I live in Surprise off of Waddell on 175th Avenue. I'm going to bring up a couple of items that might be able to be put on the agenda in the future. The fire chief spoke really well about response times, the new station 310. Some of my concerns living in the south part of the city is the public safety responses to the new Desert Diamond White Tanks Casino surrounding areas. So I'm going to kind of address the elephant in the room. I've been hearing a lot of different things about this situation. Does the city of Surprise have a contract to provide public safety responses to the reservation casino that's outside our city limits? Is it a verbal agreement or a written agreement? If we do, how much is the city being compensated by the reservation for these public safety services, if any? Can the city council make this public regarding our police and fire service responses and any potential contracts between the two parties? Just recently, I had noticed Surprise police units in and around the casino since its grand opening last month, along with an all-hazards Surprise fire department unit just days ago responding to a vehicle accident just outside the casino property. My concern is response times will increase above the NFPA standards of 5 minutes and 20 seconds in the southern parts of our city under the automatic aid agreement, even with the new fire station 309 going into service later this year. As we see future expansion of the Desert Diamond White Tanks Casino with a hotel and conference center and continuing annexation of the city of Glendale to our southern border will indeed increase our call demand for fire responses. That's why I'm suggesting funding for a medical response unit, an MR unit they call it. It's a full ALS staffing unit that can help lower response times in the southern parts of the city and keeping all hazard response units responding more within our city limits instead. An MR unit is staffed by 4 firefighters with 2 being paramedics, and they can respond to any medical emergency, including cardiac arrest to trauma calls. It can also be utilized for additional manpower on any fireground call, and the cost for the apparatus of this type is a fraction of the cost of a traditional fire engine. This could respond to the casino and surrounding areas for any medical emergency, under the automatic aid agreement. And the additional funding could be paid through the reservation casino if properly negotiated between both parties, saving the city of Surprise and the taxpayers a significant amount of money for both the fire and police department. So basically, in summary, I do support, fire responses to the casino, as long as it doesn't affect our city residents. And if we can get the funding through the casino to pay for that, I'm all for it. So thank you.
Mr. Ringroth, can you get with Mr. Ellis and answer some of his questions, please?
Yes, Mayor. In fact, Chief Espy's ready to do that right now, and he has that information.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I have Paula Anderson.
Hi, I'm Paula Anderson, and as a woman by myself, I don't want to give my streets. That's a little spooky. But anyhow, a while ago, I did pose an online question about specific language used in our public meeting rules. And I'm here today to urge some corrective language. Because as of 3:30 today, the wording of those rules hasn't been updated. I know this isn't as important as fire safety and water, but it is important. I don't want to see any more lawsuits and bad publicity coming down. So anyhow, hopefully I won't bore you all. Quick, super fast history lesson. Jump back 100 years. Basically, there is a Supreme Court ruling in 1925. It's Gitlow versus New York. State law must be consistent with the First Amendment and not violate freedom of speech. And it basically says Congress shall make no rule that actually applies to all levels of government, not just federal, state, boils down to all of us. Then moving fast forwarding to 1971, it's really the often quoted by certain people, the Supreme Court case that Cohen versus California. You might have heard that or read some of that on some of those Facebook posts that basically says speech, even profane, offensive speech. Guess what? It's protected. Okay. Fast forward another few years to 1973. This is the case of Miller versus California. To restrict speech, there are some things we can restrict. One of those things is being obscene, but to be obscene speech, there are very, very narrow criteria. And I can share those later if anyone wants those. So as of 3:30 today, our public meeting rules still say, blah, 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 Section 5, a civil decorum will be expected of all speakers, and blah, blah, blah. Prohibited disruptive behavior includes, but is not limited to threats, profanity, words likely to provoke immediate combat, blah, blah, blah. You got to change that. Okay, words matter. Okay, somebody's going to come up here and say a profane word. And if you guys get mad or do something or call a police chief, I would rather see our money go towards fire and more water instead of paying off lawsuits. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, I have John Goodnow.
Evening. Some new faces. It's refreshing. So
Just a
I came
guy
here
having
tonight,
fun.
A little late. I wanted to come after the meeting last time, and I did. But I got to tell you guys, doing government's not that hard, right? You got to honor your oath and not be a dick. I mean, that's really the basic rules of government. And I saw some good change after what happened to Rebecca Massey. I really did. It was some good new mayor, new city attorney coming in. So we got some good things. And then all of a sudden, a video leaked from the chief of police, right? And I've got it queued up here, and I'm not going to quote him. I'd rather just use his own words. But essentially, what the chief is saying is we're all crazy.
Moment here to get this out real quick. You know, what happened last week in a council meeting resulted in what I think everybody in the world is calling an illegal arrest and a violation of someone's First Amendment rights. That's clearly not what we're about, and that is not what happened.
That's literally what happened, right? So what the chief just told us was that the entire world was wrong. What we witnessed with our lying eyes was wrong. I'm a root cause guy. My son was threatened to be shot and killed here in the state of Arizona in 2019. School didn't say anything to the police or the parents. I took action. I got the law here changed, right? 15,541 and 33312, right? Now, I got it mandated where the schools have to say something if there's a threat of violence in schools. So I have a challenge to you guys. How about we make constitutional training mandatory for the police? The police aren't going to do it themselves. So the only way that that's going to happen is it's going to come from this council. And this council is going to have to mandate that the police officers who serve the public understand the Constitution that they took an oath to serve. We saw 2 oaths being taken here. And what are the very first things that you swear that oath to? It's the Constitution. What's the very first law in the Constitution? It's the First Amendment. And if every one of your police officers can't recall the 5 protections codified in the First Amendment right off the top of their head, what are they doing with the badge and gun? If they don't know what our freedoms are, how in the world can they protect them? And the chief put that on full display when he leaked the video to the world that we're all wrong and we didn't see what we saw. Take care of it, City Council. I challenge you.
Thank you.
This next form does not have a last name, so Michelle.
All righty. Good evening, infidels and fellow Constitution lovers. I was going to read my statement today, but I accidentally left it out where people could read it. And I felt that it was no longer a secure statement to read to you guys. So today we're going to talk about the Constitution, the First Amendment specifically. Do you guys know there's 5 elements to the Constitution? Freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, freedom to redress. Do you guys know any of the other ones? All right. So freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, freedom of press, freedom to redress our government, and there's one more. Freedom of religion. Oh, yes. Well, you guys don't have to ask to go to church, do you? I wouldn't ask to go to church because that's my First Amendment right? Well, so is free speech. So is free press. So I'm going to sing a song for you guys. I hope you like it. I've been singing it for about 20 years. Fuck shit, fuck, 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 fuck shit, fuck shit, fuck, fuck, fuck. Yes, fuck shit, fuck, fuck, fuck. Woohoo! Fuck shit, fuck, fuck, fuck. So now I see that you guys finally respect the First Amendment. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
I believe this first name is Grande Johnson.
Grande Johnson.
Woo, Grande Johnson.
Good evening, Your Majesty. Oh, shit. Shocked me. Good evening, Your Majesties, and thank you for gracing us with your presence this evening, and thank you for allowing me to address you. I was actually going to say something along the lines of that, what that woman just said, but it's already been done, and I don't think I need to really be just overly obnoxious. But I think that sometimes points need to be made, right? And I'm glad that you guys are starting to understand. What I do want to say, though, is that I'm glad that there's a new mayor here. I appreciate what you're doing, Kevin. Thank you. And I guess there's a new city attorney coming as well. But I really think that the police chief either needs to do the right thing and resign and walk away, or that you all need to do something. Mistakes happen. We all make them. And I think that what happened to Rebecca came out of, I would even say, I'm even going to dare to say maybe even innocent ignorance. People not necessarily meaning to do something wrong. I don't know, it was pretty over the top. But mistakes happen. But when the police chief doubled down and tripled down on that mistake and encouraged his other officers to continue to do the same thing that was done before, and encouraged his officers to pat the cop on the back who violated someone's constitutional rights, again, mistakes happen. But man, when you double and triple down on it like that, chief, he's got to go. And I think that you should do the right thing for your community and just leave on your own. That's all I have. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
And this is the final registered speaker, Mayor Alex Christ.
Thank you. 175th and Waddell, Duffy's District. Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, our republic is strong and democracy lives on. We have come to a new direction in our country. And listening to the speech given by our new Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, I am hopeful for our success. If you haven't heard it, I hope that you catch it, because it was an excellent speech at the State Department. And Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, I don't envy the decisions that you will have to make, but I know they will be made with wisdom and discernment. And I'll be praying for you, because this year's going to be different. I definitely know that, especially from Mayor's speech from last time. I also want to acknowledge the brave men and women of the city staff who will be taking calls and messages such as traffic is important, education is important, but to me, Taco Tuesday is going to be important. Stick that in the budget. But Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, I'm glad we have a republic. I'm glad that people like us, citizens, and you saw our veterans here. I care very much for them because they fought so hard for us. And we have people from the fire department, from education, veterans that will represent us. And I do trust in you. I do trust that our republic will stay strong. And I echo the speech from our president. From this moment on, America's decline is over. Our golden age has begun. And I believe that for our city as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Council members, do you have any other business or future agenda items you want to talk about?
Yeah, I got one. And you kind of gave me this idea, so I got to share the credit with you. But you know, we talk a lot about traffic and Surprise, and rightfully so. We talk about Northwest Surprise because there are some concerns there, and also in West Surprise. But you know, Bell Road is quite the road, and it's only, you know, we've done a lot to mitigate some of the traffic concerns on Bell Road. But as city center builds out, it would be nice to have like a work session or just like a review, whether it's part of our strategic plan or if it's a work session by itself on Bell Road and just some traffic improvements we could do. The ones that come to mind are specifically that I'm thinking of, and it could be more than this, but extending or adding left-hand turn lanes, specifically at Bell and Litchfield, that oftentimes gets backed up so far that you know, if you're trying to go straight and you're in the left lane, you can get stuck 2-3 lights. We've done a lot of things. The city has done a lot. Blinking yellow lights, adding a left-hand turn lane at Reams, but it would just be nice to take a look at Bell Road and just to work with Eric and maybe take a look at what improvements we could do, because one of my biggest gripes as government is that, and not us, of course, because, right? No, I'm just kidding. But one of my biggest gripes with government in general is that we're too reactive, right? We wait till something becomes an issue and then we have to like play catch up. So with this thing, we see city center building out. Would like to see us be proactive and take a look at Bell Road. So.
Oh, thank you for that. And as we move towards the work sessions or the strategic planning sessions that we're going to have, I think those ideas and any council member that has some ideas that we can work together to just make sure that we are representing the city and what our strategic goals are, we can come together and do that at that time. So thank you. Vice Mayor Hastings.
Yeah, Mayor, I think you asked for a transportation update a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
So just like Councilman Hastings, I'd like to, I don't know if you specifically requested a certain part of it, but I'd like it to be citywide, because I talked to Eric about it, and there's not just Bell Road, but some other areas in my district were brought up. Highland Prep High School is especially one of them. And this subject comes up a lot about school traffic, school safety, and almost like the requirements that ADOT has for high schools, which Eric and I talked about, it was brought up 50 years ago, and there weren't charter schools and everybody bused. And it's not the same as it used to be where parents let kids walk to school. It's different now. So how those rules should be different. And I think we should all talk about that, because there are safety issues at Highland Prep, Paradise Honors, which we've addressed. We're working on Highland Prep right now, but it still should be talked about. And then other areas of the city, Cereval, Reams, where should there be hawks to stop traffic as kids crossing? Because safety should be the most important thing. So I think that should be a citywide thing when you bring this up. Thank you.
I agree. Thank you. Mr. Wingeroth, if you can add that with Eric to the presentation when we talk about all the transportation going on in the city.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. All right, hearing or seeing no other requests to speak or future agenda items, let's jump into the council report. So we'll start with District 1.
I know we have an executive session, so I have nothing to report, Mayor. Thank you.
District 2.
Same. I don't want to take any more time here.
District 3.
I want to take some time. Actually, so this is different. My next meet and greet, February 1st, for the three of us, is actually going to be in the stadium. Alex, you like to go to these. So park in the normal parking lot, come in through third base, and we'll be up in Suite 5. So we've tried different places, and some are too noisy. So if I have to hear the sound of a baseball bat during a meeting, I'm okay with that. And it's just a good spot to do it, because some people have never been up there or seen the stadium empty, so it'd be good to do it there. So it'll be at the stadium on Saturday, February 1st. I think it's the 1st at 9. Thank you.
Thank you. District 4.
Nothing to report, Mayor. Nothing.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few things. Obviously, I had to miss last meeting, so I want to apologize for my absence. But I wanted to congratulate the new mayor and council members and current councilor getting reelected, Councilman Greenberg, Council Melton, and Mayor Sartor. And with Mayor Sartor specifically, I won't delve too much into the past, but about 10 months ago, you gave me a call, and we were talking about this, and you said, do you think I have a chance at this? And I was like, who knows, man? We were looking for someone to run for mayor, and you stepped up, and not only did you win, but you won bigly, 61%. The people of Surprise spoke, and I'm super proud to work with you. I will say this is my 5th year on the council now, and this group of people, and nothing against the people I've served with, but I'm really excited about this.
Two newbies.
Here's what's going on in the background while the meeting's going. You see these guys all sitting back here bullshit not even paying attention.
There it is. There's that laugh. I love it.
Speak tonight.
Councilman Judd.
Nothing to report, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. I just have a few things to talk about. It's been about 3 weeks I've been mayor now, and so we've done a lot.
They said I need a picture with you. So I might still get a whatchamacallit, but it's not gonna go that far. So come this way. There we go. I can get a
Way out of frame.
And I'll get one of Joe Cool. I think everybody's ready to go though.
Different ribbon cuttings, going to different events, talking to residents. We have a great city, and residents are engaged, and it's an exciting time here in Surprise. And I just want to continue to have that momentum, have that passion, and have residents come out and talk to us and get just do our best for the city. So that's all I have.
Yeah, I can get one off of that. I got George in the background. You're the short down a little.
All right,
you
everybody. It
guys.
looks like it's going into executive session over here.
That's
for
what we're doing
meeting.
today. We're gonna head outside. They're still in there talking. I'm going to a break, I think. All right, I'm gonna end it, you guys. Thank you guys for all being here. That's the whole crew in the city council meetings.
Any opposed? Too bad.
Abstain.
Just kidding. There you go. Abstain. There you go.
Well. I don't know. Should we stick around and wait and see what they say after executive session? It seemed like I don't know. It seemed like they were playing it off. John said earlier there was sorry, excuse me. There was a woman that got arrested for speaking her mind, and she said a few words that they apparently didn't like, and yeah, so they arrested her. But then, you also heard a couple of people up there, like just a guy having fun, bring it out and be like, hey, this is what the police chief said afterwards. Like, I don't know. Surprise was already kind of iffy. I mean, it's one of those retirement communities, really, like very high end retirement communities, a lot of gated communities. I don't know. I mean, as far as like crime and whatnot, I mean, yeah, it happens there, but not as much as it happens inside Phoenix. Surprise isn't really all that bad as far as crime wise and whatnot and so forth. But then again, they've also got some pretty corrupt cops over there as well. A lot of them are on the Brady list. So, right, Brooke? Yeah. I don't know. It was kind of crazy though, living out there near there. Again, I mean, look, they've got all types of nice parks and stuff out there. I mean, it is really kind of upscale or, retirement based. They're looking for that high income or somebody that can afford to purchase a house and just live out there for a while. Let's see. Trying to see if anybody else is live right now. out there. Maybe we can catch a glimpse of what else is going on out there. But I think everybody shut down. Yeah. Thinking everybody shut down. All right. Well, I don't want to hold you guys up. I don't know how long executive session is gonna take, and really, it's not really anything interesting, to tell you the truth. So, I tell you what, guys, thank you for coming in. Thank you for watching. If you drop that like, and if you haven't, drop that like. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. And I think we will catch you guys on the flip side. We'll send you out with this.
Yo, we living in a world where the shadows creep. Got the government watching every move, no sleep. They got their eyes on us, trying to keep us in line. But we stand tall, ready to redefine. Who you calling when the system's gone wrong? Good citizen media, we the voice in the throng. You people unite, we the force that
Ladies
they
and
fear.
gentlemen, great to see
Holding them
you.
accountable,
Welcome in.
crystal clear. What do you do when the man is corrupt? Can't call the law, they all in the cup. We rise up strong, we won't back down. Government watchdogs taking back the crown. Charges fabricated, they throwing the heat. Run us through the courts, but we can't be beat. They trying to silence us, but we got the truth. With every beat drop, we reclaiming our youth. Standing our ground, we the ones that they chase. But we push back hard, running this race. No fear in our hearts, we got the power to fight. Illuminate the darkness, we bring in the light. What do you do when the man is corrupt? Can't call the law, they all in the cup. We rise up strong, we won't back down. Government watchdogs taking back the crown. So when they come knocking, we answer with pride. Good citizen media, we won't be denied. You people together, we rewrite the script. Standing for justice, we'll never be clipped. So raise your voice, let them know we're awake. We the watchdogs, we got what it takes. The government trembles when we take a stand. Together we rise, united hand in hand. What do you do when the government's bad? You call on the truth, you call on the rad. Good citizen media, you people in the game. We the watchdogs and we ain't playing tame.
All you bad government actors, we see you, we're watching. There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Accountability's coming.
What do you do when the man is corrupt? Can't call the law, they all in the cup. We rise up strong, we won't back down. Government watchdogs taking back the crown.
You guys are still here? Go home. I'm just kidding. Have a great night, everybody.